Hilary, it's great to chat with you in this new year. What are you watching for? Obviously, we're waiting on the results from Georgia. What are your expectations? Some are saying the market is now expecting a Democratic sweep there, and so then what?
I'm expecting that everyone should be prepared for the downside. Even if we didn't have two Democrats coming in Georgia and it was two Republicans, there's still concern because we're now at $8 trillion having been spent on the stimulus alone. So therefore, Republican or red or blue, we would be looking at taxes going up. Everyone should be really careful and be very mindful of the rotation that's going on. It's really important. It really snuck up on so many investors very quickly. Everyone was used to making a lot of money, in those technology stocks. And now the rotation really is into the financials that even with the 10-year bond up above 1%, the banks are going to make plenty of money between what they borrow at, which is 0.25 or nothing, and giving a mortgage of 3.5%. So there's a lot of money that's going to be going there. Also, the big banks that are investment banks that are going to be doing a lot of restructuring, cross-border mergers. So we're looking there. And then in terms of infrastructure, we're not necessarily running out to buy the engineering construction companies because they have a very difficult business model, but we are looking at companies that are hitting 52-week highs like Deere, DE, for example, ABB, great company, Swiss company, big projects, especially energy projects. And that's one that has really been stuck for years that we could see catch a bid. And then the mid caps too. There are some that haven't had a chance to catch up with the rest of the market. And we're going to see those really do well. We love Sally Beauty, SBH. Yes, you have the dividend there. It's basically like an Ulta for hair care products. And what we found, we do a lot of research, especially channel research, is that thousands of salons have shut down. The salon stylists have gone in-home and they're ordering from Cosmo, a division of Sally Beauty. But even before that, the market sold off Sally Beauty last spring as if it were going to go out of business. And that's where you're going to find some money and the market rising. And then lastly, of course, investors have to get ready in terms of wanting some good solid dividend yield and protecting themselves. And that comes from everywhere, like 3M, MMM, 60,000 products they have, from adhesives to ventilators, sadly.
Right. Yeah. It's amazing. I see what you're saying and the trends that we're seeing, right? Our hairdressers are working from home. I mean, mine's charging me double. I don't know. That's another story, right? I guess she's paying for the products herself, or I'm not sure why exactly. But anyhow, 3M, as you noted, a great American company. They make, I think, Sharpies and Post-it notes, as you said, many, many products and a good dividend. 3M was one name you mentioned. Boeing was another name that you had on your list as a pick. Why is that? Tell me about Boeing.
Okay, so Boeing really has straightened out their senior management. That MAX, 737 MAX, is flying again. It has received approval. It is in the air. People know that the 737 is as solid and as safe an aircraft as there ever has been one. Maybe the 747, but of course, 737 has a different purpose, shorter hauls. You are going to see Boeing really could easily get to $300 a share. I know that it languished between 100 and 200, but think about the fact it was over $440 18 months ago. So I love that one. Also on my list of our core list of the dividend yielding stocks you should buy is INGREDION, which is the old corn products company, and that's your starches and your sugars. And there was concern that with institutional business going downwards, because they supply, of course, not just to manufacturers like a General Mills, but INGREDION supplies sweeteners and sugars to the big institutional companies like Cisco that are in the big stadiums that aren't seeing any fans these days, but Ingredion is really a good value and a company that everyone should buy and just keep in your portfolio. And Wall Street's catching up. They're always behind these days, and individual investors really have the advantage.
Okay.
Because they can realize these trends, and it's macro trends that are going to drive the stock market in the coming months.
Right, right. I see what you're saying. I also know you had some IPO thoughts, a name like CHEWY, for example. Are there certain IPOs that have occurred in the last 12 to 18 months that you love, or are you highly anticipating something going forward, or would you or recommend something like the IPO ETF?
I would not invest in the ETF because it's so selective when you look at the list of the real big winners, even though it was a remarkable year, 2020, in IPOs. But I would definitely consider Airbnb, even with an $87 billion market cap. Airbnb is a trend that will continue and will continue to replace so many of the hotel rooms, and it's a new paradigm, just like it took time for everyone to get used to the fact that Tesla wasn't just an idea, but Tesla is an actual auto that people are going to buy. It's the same with Airbnb, and so I think Airbnb we really love. CHEWY, which was my stock of 2020, it's already up 200%, but I could see CHEWY getting into maybe $150. I mean, we started at 23 with CHEWY, but CHEWY.com to me, which is the pet food pets and the Amazon for pets. I think that we could see CHEWY maybe be an acquisition target. That would make a lot of sense. And I think that if all of the companies that are new that are out there, Etsy is going to just absolutely blow it out of the park when it comes to earnings. And EXPRESS, that was the stock that replaced all the people that would ordinarily maybe have been shopping, in the big box stores like Macy's and Lord & Taylor and the J.C. Penney's. And the Etsy has helped with the personalization. People haven't been able to physically be together, but Etsy, so much is customized, personalized. So we think that Etsy has tremendous opportunity. And just because a stock is up 330% in 52 weeks, it doesn't mean that it can't be up another 330%. And that's maybe the most important message for investors to realize, that buy higher highs.